This is a video I've wanted to make for a couple weeks now, but finally getting around to doing it. Yeah, and there's gonna be lots of feels in this one, so if you don't want those right now or what have you, feel free to click off. But on the screen right now, you are seeing video footage of Red Faction Armageddon. Why am I showing this to you? Well, put quite simply, this is the first game I have ever been able to buy with revenue generated from a game I've made. And that's... Yep. And now's the part where we fade into me already trying not to cry. We're gonna go ahead and take those off, because yeah, we're gonna cry in this. This video is made as a companion piece to the postmortem for the Gallows Frequency that I just put out, and is gonna be way more candid, gonna be way more me than that was. I was, like I said in that one, was meant to be more kind of businessy, and yes, I'm recording these right back to back, so there may be some overlap in them. But yeah, I don't even know where to start. I haven't the foggiest idea. For years, I was in a very, very bad rut. I released my first game when I turned pro, way back in 2011. From then, I released a couple free games, here and there. There's about a year gap between each game. Originally, the intent of this venture, we were going to make a game every month. Actually, we're going to make 2 games every month. I learned a lot about game making in the time since that 17-year-old kid was in charge. But yeah, it was around 2 years ago. It was whenever Arkham Knight came out. And immediately, if I've said the word Arkham Knight, shudders should have flown off in your head. Arkham Knight and the backlash it got scared me away from making games. Because, my God, this is a thing that had millions of dollars put into it, and marketing, and had the best graphics, had all these things. Anything I make is going to be cut to ribbons by these people. No one's going to want to touch anything I make. And I was stuck in that spot. Nothing I was making was good enough. So I backed away from making my own stuff. I pursued freelance work. I did all of this. I was playing in someone else's sandbox. And I was playing by someone else's rules. I had lost me somewhere along the way. Somewhere in here was still that starry-eyed kid that was, I'm going to make video games. And no one could tell me otherwise. But he had gotten lost and trapped under this mountain of a burgeoning adult man who was terrified that he only had one shot. And he was going to blow it. Because that's what he did. But then a funny thing happened. I began, over the summer, just as a way to get myself to do something creative, to flex some of those muscles, I started making YouTube videos for a channel that I've since abandoned because reasons. But that then led me to Twitter, and you know where the next part of this story goes. That led me to meeting some absolutely amazing people. And I know you're all, God, you're sick of me crying and telling you this, but have seriously changed my life. A couple weeks ago, I released the first game I had in years. I had never thought I would release another game. I thought, okay, I can move into freelance and all that, and maybe if I, down the road, I'll try my own stuff again. But I'm still coming to grips with that. A, people checked out my game. B, people downloaded my game. C, people paid for my game. That's such a different animal than just even thinking of it now. It's such a different feeling to think that the way I can do this, the way I want to do this, is a viable way to do this. Me marching to the beat of my very weird drum resonates with people, and fuck. See, I even swore. I don't know how many people actually heard me swear. That's how monumentally unfathomable this all is. So I just wanted to make this to kind of illustrate that and sincerely say thank you. And I am going to forget some people. I apologize now. I have met so many wondrous and amazing people that I'm surely going to forget someone, and then I'm going to feel really bad and want to make them cookies, because that's what I do. But thank you. First, this guy had to be Dave Seaman, or Captain D as he's known. He was one of the first media outlets way back when he covered my first game, and he's covered pretty much every game I've made since then. So thank you, Dave. Thank you for giving me that kind of base nudge that people will be receptive to the stuff I make. But yeah, and then to just before I get thank you to Avenged. I always call you Avenged. Avenged, Shweevy, Mug and Play, and all the other Let's Players that I can't remember. There's one I'm going to come back to, but I don't want to say her thank you now. I can now YouTube or Google the Gallows Frequency and videos show up. That's friggin' cool. Videos from people I didn't know started showing up. That's really friggin' cool. But thank you guys. Thank you to Kendra Clark for always being supportive. Thank you to the three-headed beast of wonderful support that is Big Boss, Pumpkin, and Jackal. Even though you guys don't like that, I thank you. I'm going to thank you anyway. Huge, massive thank you to Samphoria, who in the past month or so, 2 months, is one of the biggest supports I lean on in terms of my internet family. She's always there and always sparkly and always... Oh, I'm not gonna cry. Not gonna do it. Whew. And thanks to, not gonna do it, Mr. Craigie, Stratham, and Lard, other guys I've come to lean on and have been just all shades of supportive. Thank you to Voyager Games, who's been kind of my game design sounding board, and he's my game design lifting buddy, where we're both kind of pushing each other to be better. Go support Outer Colony. Go do it. It's awesome. And I also think I'm somewhere in that game. Huge utter thank yous to Ponyo Panda, Retro Princess, and of course Pixel Girl. 3 of my absolute favorite ladies who have been outstandingly supportive, who've clearly seen something in this big mush that I'm just now coming to realize is there. A massive thank you to Miss Valerie Mayo, who way back a couple months ago, in just a tiny, innocuous tweet, was the catalyst for me getting this game done. I look forward to seeing all the projects you're working on. I had never had that. It seems like such a tiny little thing, but of everything I've ever said I was going to do, to actually hear someone say they were excited to see it was, I'm not going to cry. That was earth shattering. So thank you, Valerie. And of course, a giant thank you to the badass bunny commander and the Hater of Butt crew, Liftrin. I didn't forget you, Lift. Lift was the first one in line who said, I make video of your game, of all of your games. You can't stop me. And then I think she squeed. I'm like 90% on that one. But thank you, Lift. You are absolutely amazing. And then we come to the absolute centerpiece of this bizarre little internet family I found, and that would be the Battle Cattle Herd. Thank you, of course, to the Fluffy Lucky Mucky Ducky, to Tallulah and Jinjar. 3... Words don't work. I'm done with words. Thank you guys for the support. To Fimus, Willow, Simmer, Suli, JD, Danicon, Mr. Steven. Support, and almost a kind of kick in the butt that I wasn't ready for, especially to have that much. Again, to have people who were excited not to see what I was working on, rather than I tell them I make games and their eyes glaze over and they... I know these two are going to get tired of hearing this, but it doesn't become less true. Before I get to them, I want to thank Kai. I want to thank Beanie. And I'm sure I'm going to forget someone. I'm gonna forget you, I'm sorry. I know there's someone I'm forgetting, but I can't remember who it is. But like I said, I know these last two they've got to be tired of hearing me say this. But Era, Shadow, sincerely, and I can't thank you enough. The universal gods of chance who said, hey, you need to crash into and meet these people. I can't be more thankful. you two have helped me so drastically find my way back to making games, to taking the best parts of that starry-eyed 17-year-old kid who started this, incorporating them with all the stuff the now version of me's learned. The now almost 25 version of me, which is... Yeah, this will come up before my birthday, so... Thank you, Shadow. And massively, thank you, Era. Thank you all so much. Thank you to anyone who is somehow watching this. Thank you to Elvish Gaming for being my first Patreon. That was also a kick in the butt I needed. And thank you to Pink Monster, who came up with the baseline idea for Gallows Frequency. I'm excited again to be making games, and I know I'm making games not for the people who wanted the cutting edge graphics, who wanted the millions of dollars. I'm making games for me. I'm making games I would play. I'm making games that I would enjoy. And it's cool to see that there are people out there who dig that. So, yeah. I'm going to go probably bawl my eyes out, as I've been fighting back the waterworks for however long this has been going, and I'm likely rambled along the way. Thank you all. I love you all. And my heart apparently looks like a diamond. And good night.